Oh my gosh. All right, it's go time, baby. It's go time, baby. Let's do it. Let's get the volume up a little bit. All right, that's good. Good morning. What is cooking? Good looking. It's good to see you. Don't get shooken. We got some good stuff to get into. If you're new here, my name is Wet Willie. We go live all the time. We learn how to buy assets that cash flow. We're going to cover a lot of ground today. Good morning. We're starting a little late, but we go through this all the time. We learn how to buy assets that produce profit. I'm going to walk you through some of that right now and teach you a little bit of the game of how we go out there, we find assets, we evaluate them, we make sure they produce profit, all the good stuff. If you're new here, this is the formula. I'm going to show it to you visually. I'm going to walk through it and kind of take you behind the scenes when we're looking at deals, whether it's a rental property or a self-storage facility, even a mobile home park today. We're going to go through a lot of different things. If you're new here, my name is Will. I go live all the time. We learn how to buy assets that cash flow. I'm going to walk you through the process. It's very similar in the beginning. What you do is you take your active income. Active income is money that you're earning when you're working. So you go out there, you've got a job, you've got a business that you're running. You need to set aside a portion of that. Doesn't really matter how much you're earning if you're not setting aside a portion of that for a future version of you. That's the only way that a future version of you is going to have money is if you set aside money for that person. So you take some cash, you set it aside, you stash that cash. There's a framework I teach on this: safety, liquidity, rate of return, taxation, fees, how safe is my money, all that kind of stuff. I'll get to that a little bit later on. But we take our cash, we stash our cash, we get it ready. Then we're going to focus our attention on assets. An asset, by definition, is something that produces profit that doesn't require our time. So I might want to buy a rental property or a self-storage facility or an RV park or a laundromat or an ice vending machine, whatever you're into. But we take our cash and we buy assets. Those assets kick off profit. That profit then, good morning, Psych Seduction, good morning, sunshine, good to see you. So we buy the asset kicks off profit, it fills the bucket back up. We rinse, wash, repeat over and over and over again until we're financially free. So that's the name of the game. It's what we talk about all the time. If you're new here, my name is Will. I go live all the time, and we're going to get deep into this. If you want to hang out with us every day, just come up here at the top of the screen somewhere. There's a follow button. We go live all the time, and we learn how to get the cash flow. Good morning. All right, let me jump over here. Let me show you something on this side. And we're going to learn a couple of different things about the process that we walk through of how we go out there. Good morning, Jeffrey. Jeffrey, when is closing? Jeffrey, speaking of buying assets at cash flow, Jeffrey's buying a 5-unit. Is that right? A 5-unit complex in Pennsylvania. That's a big pencil. Vero Fund. Good morning. Good morning, coffee date. I'm glad you're here. Let me put this away. Oh my gosh. Good morning, Eddie. Good morning. I can't have that out at all around you. Oh my gosh. Good morning. Good morning. When are you closing, Jeffrey? When's your closing date? Good morning. Good to see you. Oh my gosh. Good morning, coffee date. Long time no see. Hola. Let's get after it. So what we talk about of how you go out there and how you retire without waiting until you expire. We don't wait until 65 or 70 years old to retire. We do it faster. I'm going to show you how. We go out there and we buy assets. An asset, by definition, good morning, late sus. Good morning. Everybody type A in the chat for asset. I'm going to define what this is. Good morning, Doma. Everybody type A, the letter A in the comments. We're going to get to the pie in a second, Jason. It's too early for the pie. Well, we're late, so it's a little A. Everybody type A. Doma, Naj, A. Yes, type A in the comments. Where did you get this shirt? Dude, I got this at a thrift store in Orlando, Florida. Right on time for pie. Yeah, it's always a good time for pie. A, Eddie, A. So A represents an asset. We want to buy assets that produce profit. An asset, by definition, is something that produces income that doesn't require us to be there. So if I buy a rental property, if I buy real estate, if I buy a laundromat, if I buy self-storage, if I buy a car wash, I'm not providing the value. The asset provides the value to the marketplace. I don't wash the cars, the car wash washes the cars. I don't store the stuff, the self-storage unit stores the stuff. So when that happens, the asset's producing the income, therefore it's passive income. I don't have to be there to do it, it does it without me. Assets that produce passive income, here's how you get financially free without waiting until you're 103. When the passive income is greater than your expenses, you can stop working. So hypothetically, if my personal living expenses are $5,000 a month, and I go out there and I buy an asset, let's say like a car wash, that gives me $1,000 a month. In the comments below, how many assets do I need until I'm financially free? Fill in the box for me. How many assets do I need? Let me know in the chat. If I have an asset that gives me $1,000 a month in profit and my personal living expenses are $5,000 a month, how many assets do I need until I'm free? My 7-year-old is listening and learning. Let's go! Is that my kid? Vero, is that my? Anyway, we'll talk about it later on. Like 5 more True cards. Let's go, Shelly. Good morning. I'm sorry, Vero. I'm sorry. Good morning. 50 shots. Good morning, sunshine. 7. So, Chris, great question. Yeah, absolutely. 5. 5 assets away. That's the name of the game. You don't have to wait until you're 100 years old. Good morning, Meadster. You don't have to wait. She might be yours. Let's go. Yo. Vero. Oh, my gosh. How old is she again? 7 years ago. San Antonio. Oh, my gosh. Good. I'm a dad. Let's go. Anyway, good morning. If you're new here, my name is Will. This is a game that we play. We buy assets that produce profit. When the profit is greater than your expenses, you're financially free. Doesn't matter the asset that you buy. I'm going to go through this. I'm going to walk you through some of the game right now. Good morning, everybody. Happy Friday. Let's go over here to the big board, and let's walk through a couple of other things. You ready? Houston. Yeah, but didn't we, like Riverwalk? I'm in Austin. You're in Houston. We met at the Riverwalk. Anyway, we'll figure it out. But I'm a dad. It's great to know. Good morning. So we're going to learn how to buy assets. Let me show you some of the stuff we're going to get into today. How many of you want to learn how to buy real estate and you want to walk through a deal together in real estate? Type R in the comments and then we'll cover a deal in real estate right now. Good morning, Meadster. Yes, we did. Let's go. I'm remembering. Oh my gosh. I remember I got a kid in Houston. I totally forgot. R, real estate. Jason, we're locked in. I don't know what's going on. Oh, the big diesel engines, baby. Elsa, okay, we'll get you real estate. Do you want to look at a mobile home park today? Type M in the chat for mobile home park. You interested in something like that or no? Would you rather not? We can go through a lot of assets. And if you're new here, my name is Will. We go live all the time. If you want to hang out with us, just tap the follow button somewhere. Just in time. Good morning, Renee. Good morning. Jose, gotcha. Okay, so we'll get into mobile home park a little bit. And if I get time, we'll even cover self-storage. Do y'all want to talk about self-storage? Type S in the chat for self-storage. We can talk about that. Self-storage is simple. It's concrete. It's sheet metal. Somebody pays you $30, $50, $70 a month or more, depending on your market. They throw their stuff in there, and then that's self-storage, right? So, yes. Okay, so we'll cover a lot of ground on that. Let me try to hit 2 things at once. It's all about the angle, but I'm going to see if I can hit 2 at once. Let's try to do this. Let me walk you through a really quick example, kind of understanding the strategy, the concept, high level. Then we'll apply the strategy that we learned to a different asset class. We haven't done this in a while, so let's just kind of recap this. This is a rental property. This is a house right now, and it's a piece of junk. Everybody type POJ in the chat. Piece of junk. Piece of junk. This thing's a piece of junk. Not that great. Not that pretty, which is great for the strategy that we're going into it. I want a piece of junk. No, Meadster. POJ. So because it's a piece of junk, that means that if I put some work into it, if I do some improvements on it, I can increase the value on it. That's called sweat equity. I work on it, the value goes up, the equity goes up. And I'm going to do a strategy called BRRRR. I'm going to buy a piece of junk. Because it's a piece of junk, I need to rehab it. Then I'm going to rehab it. I'm going to fix it up. I'm going to improve the value of this. Closing is scheduled for August 14th. Let's go! Oh my gosh. Let's jump on a call. Let's chat before then. I want to hear all the good news. Let's go, Jeffrey. Congratulations. I can't wait to hear more. So I buy a piece of junk. I rehab it. Then I'm going to put a renter in there because now it's nice on the inside. I'm going to call my bank and refinance it, take my profit out of the deal, and then repeat that process. So everybody type BRRRR in the chat or give me the cold emoji. BRRRR. Buy, rehab, rent, refinance, repeat. Buy, rehab, rent, refinance, repeat. That's what BRRRR stands for. So now let's break down this deal. Let's go through this and let's understand how a BRRRR method works inside of real estate. Then we'll take it to another asset class and walk through it. There we go, Meadster. There we go, Rami. Good morning. Okay, $61,000. That's the purchase price of this deal. Let's walk through this together. This thing's a piece of crap. Not pretty. Not a good look. But the asking price on this was $61,000. So I reach into my pocket and I pull out money for my down payment. My down payment on this deal is $12,000. So I go into my pocket and I pull money out for $12,000. I have to put that for my down payment. And I get a loan for $49,000. This is going to be really relevant in just a minute. $61,000 asking price, $12,000 down payment, $49,000 loan. So I take my 12 grand out of HIP National Bank and I put it as my down payment. Then I go into it and I repair it. My repair cost is about $30,000. So that's more money out of HIP National Bank that I got to put into the deal. So my total out of pocket is $42,000. Everybody remember this number. Better yet, write in the chat 42. We want to remember and retain this information. What if I've only got 24 bucks and a half? Well, that's an income problem. How do we improve increasing our income? Providing value to the marketplace and or better demonstrating that value to the marketplace. It's a different question which involves a different answer. We'll get to that later on. Let's talk about buying assets. So total out of pocket, $42,000. So I buy it, I improve it, I fix it up, I clean it up, and here's what happens next. I've got an after repair value. After repair value, anytime you're learning something new, there's going to be new lingo, and I don't want you to be intimidated. So type ARV in the chat. ARV. That stands for after repair value. After I repair it, there is a new higher value, ARV. Yes, this is a big term in real estate. It's used all the time, so I want you to remember and retain it. So after I repair it, there's a new value of $160,000. So I pick up my pencil phone and I call my lender. And I say, hey, Mr. Lender, can you come out and appraise my property, tell me the value of it, and give me a new loan? He says, cool. So they come out, they appraise it. It's worth $160,000. They give me a new loan, 80% what's called LTV, loan to value. 80% loan to the value of 160 means the maximum loan I can get is $128,000. I say, cool, send me the loan. So they issue a new loan. When they issue the new loan of 128, the very first thing they do is pay off my old loan. That loan goes bye-bye. Type B in the chat for bye-bye. Adios. Adios. Bye-bye. $49,000 is gone. That's the first loan I got to buy the property. I improved the property. I got a new loan, higher loan. They issue the loan. The first thing they do is pay off the old loan. Bye-bye. Bye-bye. Cool, right? All right. So the net cash out, what they direct deposit into my pocket to HIP National Bank is $78,000. That's not all profit. Not yet. I recoup my down payment and my repair cost, $42,000 total. And what goes into my pocket is $35,700 of profit. Everybody type P in the chat for profit. Profit. The profit that shows up in my pocket after all expenses, $35,000. And that's why Vero came up to San Antonio to hang out with me. She goes, you got some profit? Will you take some of that profit and take me out? I said, I got you. But then you have to pay this $78,000 back for the loan. How many of you are like, wait a minute. That's not real profit. That's a loan. Like Paul, like Univision. Type L in the chat for loan. How many are like, wait a minute. This is a common misconception. This is a common misunderstanding. How many are like, wait a minute, that's not real. That's not real. Just type L in the chat. We'll address that point if you want to. Otherwise, we'll continue on. So if you want to address that, just type L in the chat. If you don't, we'll move on. You tell me, boss. L. My dude, what's up, Kyler? Good morning. Meadster. If you're new here, my name is Will. Big L, good morning, Renee. If you're new here, my name is Will. I go live all the time. If you want to hang out with us every day, come up here and tap on the follow button. I go live every day and I teach my face off. Let's go address if this is really a profit. Let's break this down. Come over here. Let's walk on the board. You ready? So we've got some discontent in the comments. Virtual profit. That's a loan. It's not real profit. So let's break this down. Let's go to the basic foundation on this, okay? I buy a house for 60 grand. The house goes up in value. It's now worth 160. So really basic stuff, but stay with me on this. Which number's bigger? 60 or 160? Good morning, Michelle. Which number's bigger? Let me know in the comments. 60 or 160? I bought it for 60. Hello, Dula. But now it's worth 160. Which number's bigger? My pencil's the biggest. I know. Kyler, I know. Kyle, good morning. I know. Yeah, I know. That's why Vero came up to, doesn't matter. Okay, so if this is the bigger number, that's profit. What I bought it for was 60. What it's worth is 160. That's profit. How do I get access to my profit? One of the ways that I can get access to my profit is to sell my assets. I bought it for 60, it's worth 160. If I sell it, I make profit. If I buy stocks for 60 and it goes up to 160 and I sell it, I get my profit. In this example, if I bought the real estate for 60, it went up for 160, I sell it, that's profit. That's the profit's the profit. How do I access it? One of the ways to access it is to sell it. But, you know, Vero and I have a 7-year-old daughter. So if we have a kid, how many of you have kids and you want to buy assets and pass it on to them? Just type K in the chat for kid. How many of you want to do that? You've got children, you've got kids, you've got grandbabies. You want to get some assets, enjoy it while you're alive, and pass it on to your kids. You want to do that? Jose, 7 kids. Let's go. Let's go, Jose. Kids. Okay, well, if I buy assets and I sell assets, my kids don't get anything. So if your objective is to buy assets and pass it on to your children, this would violate your goal. Oh, what the? So how do I get access to my profits and pass it on to my children? I've got 2 goals. How can I get access to my profit? Well, if my asset is worth more, I call the lender up and I say, hey, Mr. Lender, I would like to borrow against my value. So they're going to issue a new loan. If I bought it for 60 and it's worth 160 and I refinance it and I take my equity out of the deal and they issue me a check and then I pay off my repair cost and my improvement cost and my down payment and I have a net profit of $35,000, that is $35,000 that didn't exist before and it came from the profit of the asset, but it's still profit. Everybody understand this. Type Y for yes, type N for no, then I'll go a little bit deeper. It's still profit. Are there expenses? You spent 30 to renovate. Yep, let me slow down for you. Come back over here. I recouped my down payment and repair cost. So let's just reiterate this, then we'll go back to the loan. After repair value is 160, I get an 80% loan to value refinance. They issue me a $128,000 loan. The very first thing they do is they pay off my old loan of 49 grand. That means the net cash out in my pocket is $78,000. That's what direct deposits into my bank. Go deeper. Girl, I got you. Then I recoup my down payment and repair costs, which is what you're talking about. That means my net, after all expenses, my net profit is $35,000. If you see it, type 35 in the chat. If you have no idea what's going on, type me. I have no idea what's going on. What am I doing here? You see it? That's pure profit. Cool? All right, come over here. Check it. Me, that's okay. That's okay. I will talk slower on the next example for the people that don't get it. I love you. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. That's pure profit. However, when I borrow money, are there expenses that are incurred with that? Yes? There's loans? Yeah, it's debt, not profit until you sell it. I don't think you know how this system works, Jack. Is that... Let's start over. If I buy an asset for 60 and it's now worth 160, in the chat, which number's bigger? Take all the time you need to answer that one. My bad, Shelly, my bad. Let's just answer this question, then we'll go back to the loan. If I buy an asset for 60 and it's worth 160, which number is bigger? 160. How I access the profit is through a loan. Let's get deeper on this. If I get a loan, there's an expense involved in that. Let's call it 7% in mortgage interest. If I sell the asset, I have capital gains taxation of, say, 20%. Which number would you rather pay? Type T for taxes of 20%. Type L in the chat for 7%. Which would you prefer to pay? 7% in loan cost, 20% in taxation. Good morning. All right, IQ test. So far we've passed. 7% in loan. Let's continue on. Do I actually pay this cost? Negatory foxtrot. If my mortgage payment, hypothetically, is $2,000 a month, and included inside of my mortgage payment, my principal, interest, taxes, insurance, is my mortgage of 7%, but then I rent this thing out for, say, $4,000 a month, What is 4,000 minus 2,000? Good morning, futuristic glass doors. Good morning, Callie. What's up, baby? Good morning, Vince. What's 4,000 minus 2,000? Let me know in the comments. What is it? That's a profit of $2,000. The mortgage of $2,000 was paid with the 7% mortgage interest, which is the cost for me to access my profit. Who pays that, though? Me? Or did I take the renter's money, $4,000, and pay it? Type R for renter, type M for me. Who pays the mortgage interest? Who is paying that? Who? Oh! Oh! That's the game. You're so concerned about the loan that you stepped over profit, Jack. Don't step over the profit. Come here. Here's what we just did. Good morning. If you're new here, my name is Wet Willie. I go live all the time, and I teach you what I did to get financially free at 29. There's no theory here, and I teach for free all the time. If you want to hang out with us, just tap the follow button. What I'm recapping is how we bought the asset, improved the asset, took the profit out of the asset, continued to play the game over and over and over again. Now that you understand that concept, can I get deeper? Type D in the chat for deeper. I took the profit out, $35,000 of pure profit. How you access the profit is entirely up to you. You can sell the asset and get the profit, pay capital gains tax. You can keep the asset, borrow it through the loan. I may need the prep ace. Go deeper. Deep. Vero keeps saying that. How deep can I go? Oh, no polo shirt today, eh? Baby, it's Friday. I thought it's casual Friday. Oh, renters can afford $4,000 a month? My brother, just because you live in a hole in Mississippi doesn't mean people can't afford stuff out there. Don't project your environment onto the world. This is a world of 8 billion people. You think $4,000 in rent is expensive? My brother in Christ, have you heard of Miami, Florida? My brother, have you heard of San Diego, California? My brother, have you heard of New York City? Are you kidding me? What are we talking about here? Just because in your little bubble they don't have those kind of expenses doesn't mean there's more people on this planet. You know what I'm saying? Oh yeah, all right. So check this out. Now that we understand this concept, I get an asset. Denver is crazy. Yes, Houston, expensive. Absolutely. We go where the profit is. So I bought an asset, I improved the property, I take my profit out of the asset through a loan. When you borrow, have you heard of Massachusetts? Exactly. Yeah, absolutely. For Matter Days, 100%. Okay, so I've got an asset. The asset's got profit in it. If I borrow against the asset, I get my profit tax-free because you're not taxed on debt in the United States. That's understanding tax law to your benefit. Two bedroom, 2 bath, $3,200. Exactly. Yeah. Now let's take this concept and apply it to something else. All right? Here we go. This is a self-storage facility listed for sale. Let me pull out my big pencil. I usually say this, save this only for Vero fun, but we'll do it for you. This is the great pencil of knowledge. It's my big pencil. We're going to use this big pencil to help us understand and evaluate this deal. You ready? All right, just watch the tip. The tip is going to follow the red line. The red line means that everything inside of that box is included if I buy this self-storage facility. What do you notice about the satellite view if we buy this self-storage facility? If I buy it, I get the self-storage facility, but I get all this other stuff too. What stands out to you? Let me know in the chat. Good morning. If you're new here, we're learning how to evaluate assets that cash flow. You've got land to play with. Expansion. There's a huge lot. Room for expansion. There's a big empty lot. Room for growth. Let's continue on with this train of thought. If I buy this asset and I get all this land, let's brainstorm. What are some ways that we can make extra income using all that land? Go-kart track? Love it. What are other ways that we can make extra income? Parking lot? Petting zoo? Love it. Where's the baby goats and the baby donkeys? Parking lot. Shelly's got to park her speed cars. Shelly's got an entire... Shelly needs to actually expand. Maybe parking lot's the next thing. I don't know. Park Paradise, put in a parking garage, more storage. Lithium strip mine, love it. RV parking, parking Turo cars between rentals, truck stop, strip mall, lease out space, warehouse, camper, boat parking, ding, 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 ding. Before we buy the asset, we figure out ways that we can increase the profit on the deal. All right, so come over here. Let me show you how this works. Let's jump over to the whiteboard. I'll show you how we do it. So let's clean this thing up. and let's walk through a deal. If you're new here, good morning. My name is Willie. If you want to hang out with us every day, just tap on the follow button. But let's get some assets that cash flow. What we talk about all the time is how we buy assets that produce profit. There's no need for you to wait until you're 65 years old to retire. Please don't do that. Please don't wait until 65 to retire. That's a mistake. We don't want to do that. Wet Willie, that's right, Wetus Willius. That's the Latin root for wet willy. Did you know I speak Latin too? Yeah, Wetus Willius. Okay, so let's say that the value of this bad boy is 400,000 big ones. And then let's say the current NI, what's up, Joseph? The current NOI, everybody type NOI in the chat. I want you to learn the lingo as we bingo. What? I don't know. I want you to learn the lingo as we go. Let's say the NOI, which stands for net operating income. Net operating income is the revenue from the business or the asset minus all expenses to run the business or the asset. So that's like your profit on your business before you get debt. So let's say the NOI on this asset is $20,000 a year, hypothetically. Cool. So if I buy this asset, it's valued at $400,000 and I get it, and it's producing profit after all expenses of 20 grand a year. Cool. So we also see we've got all this land. We want to have a petting zoo or RV parking or Turo parking or whatever we want to do, and I increase my NOI. If I double the NOI from 20 to 40, what happens to my value? In the comments, big pencil time. If I double the NOI, my value will, what number? Somebody give me a number in the chat. What does it turn into? Yes, I need parking, let's go. Will it double too? So maybe it turns into, good morning, Donnie Ballgame. Maybe it turns into $800,000? I don't know, maybe. So let's see what would happen using the same principle we just practiced on a $61,000 house, how it would work on a $400,000. Yeah, it could multiply, Stephen, it could have a higher multiplier for sure. But let's just keep it here. This would work, the same exact strategy on self-storage that we applied to rental. Cool? All right, so let's say that I buy this asset and I put a 20% down payment. So I put 20% down. 20% of $400,000 is $80,000 out of my pocket. I take 80 grand, I put it as a down payment. That means I get a $320,000 loan. I buy the asset, get a $320,000 loan. NOI is currently, I improve the asset, I increase the revenue goes up. Have the appraiser come back out. The appraiser comes back out, reevaluates the deal, gives me a new loan. 80% new loan of $800,000 is 640 grand. So they issue a new loan of $640,000. The very first thing they do is pay off my old loan. Boop, minus 320. What's 640 minus 320? This is what they direct deposit into my bank account. 640 minus 320 is how much do they direct deposit into my bank? 320? They direct deposit $320,000 into my bank. I put 80 grand as my down payment, bought the asset, improved the asset. When I improve the asset, I reappraise it, get a new loan against the value, the new value of the property, and they direct deposit 320 grand in my pocket. Oh! It's the same concept that we just walked through on the rental property. We learned the skill set of buying an undervalued asset or something that needs improvement. We improved it. It lifted the value, increased it. Cool? $319,970, stop for Chick-fil-A on the way. Let's go, Captain Hook. That's what I'm talking about. It's the same game over and over and over again. And if you're new here, my name is Will. We go live all the time. We learn how to buy assets, and I teach for free. So if you want to hang out with us every day, tap on the follow button up here. Unfortunately, Captain Hook, we closed on a Sunday, so no Chick-fil-A for you. That's okay, though. Let's come back over here, and let's walk through a couple more deals. Oh, my gosh. So we don't close on Sundays, okay? We close on Fridays, Thursdays. Do you pay tax on the 320? The 320 is a loan. You tell me. In the chat, when you borrow money, does the government tax it? Do you get taxed on loans in the United States? No, I know. You close on Sunday, man. Do you get taxed on loans? So if I borrow against the value of an asset, no, you're not taxed on loans. So because you took that out in a loan. Now, you want to go a little bit deeper? Can I go, Vero, can I go deeper? Type D in the chat. Type D in the chat if that's okay with you. I thought it was 320 in profit. Yeah, that's what was direct deposit into our pocket. Always, baby. Big D, Dig D. Okay, so now check this out. Let's jump over to the internets. I'm going to show you how to search this stuff. There's a lot of good benefits that come from this. Okay, we go to the internets. We're going to go search. You ready for this? Okay, so I'm going to search HUD. HUD stands for Housing and Urban Development. It's a government program. So we're going to search. Where's my keyboard? ¿Dónde está keyboard? ¿Cómo se dice keyboard? ¿Cómo se dice keyboard? HUD, Opportunity Zone Map. So let me show you. Cancel Money Man, let's go. Good morning. All right, so this is what I'm searching. So you can search it. Teclado. Teclado. What was the word? Yeah, teclado. Okay. So HUD Opportunity Zone Map. Thank you so much, by the way. This is what you search for. So you go to the Googs, you type in HUD Opportunity Zone Map. Grab your screenshots, whatever you need so you can remember this, or do it right now. The very first site that pops up is the U.S. Department of Housing and Urban Development. Teclado. Tecate. No, it's not Tecate. No, stop it. Down. So, map of opportunity zones. Check this out. Teclado. ¿Dónde está teclado? Where is my keyboard? I got it. Every day, class attendance different vastly day to day. But you're here every day, baby. All right, so an opportunity zone. There's a lot of tax benefits to investing inside of an opportunity zone. But let me walk you through one of these things. There's I don't know, like 7 tax benefits off the top of my head. But let me just talk about one. So an opportunity zone is an area determined by the United States government, Congress. They passed federal tax law that states that if you invest inside of an opportunity zone, sorry, it's National Tequila Day. I started because I'm retired at 36. Let's go. This is for commercial property right. Any property doesn't have to be commercial. 50 shots, great question. Oftentimes the example I use is commercial property, but that doesn't mean it only has to be commercial property. But great question. So an opportunity zone means I would take a capital gain event, like stocks, like crypto, like real estate, like a business. So a capital gain. Everybody type CG in the chat. I would take a capital gain. Type CG in the chat. Capital gain. So if I sell stocks and I've got $150,000 in capital gain, I would take that capital gain and invest in an opportunity zone. If I sell crypto or sell a business or sell real estate, I would take that growth, that gain, invest in an opportunity zone. When I invest inside of an opportunity zone, here's the one thing I want you to understand. If I hold that asset for 10 years or longer and then I sell that asset, that entire gain of that real estate that I bought is tax-free. Oh, good morning, Florida Keys. How dare you? How dare you, Florida Keys? Good morning, Florida Keys. Hey, brother, I'm in the ocean. Come on, man. I can see my toesies. How dare you? Good morning, Florida Keys. So if I buy an asset inside of an opportunity zone and I hold it for 10 years or longer, when I sell the asset after 10 years, I get the entire gain of that tax-free. Remember that. Let's go over here. Now that we understand how that works, if I buy this asset that we just walked through, and I took out $320,000 loan on the asset, if I hold that asset inside of an opportunity zone for 10 years, I get that in completely tax-free. So if I buy the asset and I improve it, and let's say you do that in year 1 or year 2, and then you take out $320,000 in loan. In year 2, I've got $320,000 in profit in my pocket. I don't pay tax on it because it was a loan. Then year 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 go by. Then I decide to sell the asset. Do I still get to keep this tax-free? Yes. Jamie Barbershop, you can't do that. Respectfully, I'm not asking you if we can do that. I'm telling you, that's what we do. Amen? You hear me on this? Love you, no disrespect. I'm not asking you. I'm telling you what the tax law says. Cool? Good morning. If you don't believe me, come over here. Check this out. That's why I always show my citation. I'm always, amen? I love you. I love you. Like, I don't know anything about barbershops. I don't know anything about barbershops. I don't know anything about 7.3 diesel engines. I barely know what a liter is inside of an engine. There's a lot of things in this world that I do not know. But this, I do know. You know what I'm saying? You can do a 1031 exchange, which is a little bit different. Me neither. No, no, no. What do you mean me either? You work on diesels. I don't know what I'm doing either. But anyway, the point that I want you to understand is to understand Opportunity Zone 2.0. That is the permanent place of Opportunity Zone investing. I show you the citation of these things. If I borrow money out of the asset like we did on that deal, and I put $320,000 in profit in my pocket because it was a loan, I didn't pay tax on it. When I hold it for 10 years or longer and then I sell the asset and it's inside of an Opportunity Zone, I would exit that position completely tax-free. So if I buy in an Opportunity Zone and it goes up in value, let's say from 400,000 to, I don't know, 1.4 million, just for easy math, I've got $1 million capital gain. But if I bought it the right way inside of an Opportunity Zone and I hold it for 10 years or longer, that $1 million capital gain comes out tax-free. I do not pay tax on it. And during that 10-year time, I can refinance against the asset, taking on the debt. And I don't pay tax on the debt during that term. Cool? Darlene, good morning, Darlene. What if the asset was your primary home? What if those are, hold on, I missed it. What if those areas are not as profitable as the other areas? So what's the number one thing that we buy? Everybody type P in the chat for profit. Type P in the chat for profit. What if the asset is your primary home? Darlene, it depends on what you're asking me. If you have an asset that's your primary home and you've lived in it the last 2 out of the 5 years, for single people, you have an exemption of $250,000. For married, you have $500,000. So if you lived in it the last 2 out of the 5 years as your primary residence and you sell it and you're married, you can make up to $500,000 in capital gain on that asset and not pay tax on it. Over that, so if you did $500,001, you would only pay tax on the $1 in profit. That's the exemption. Is that what you're asking? Cool. On your personal residence, correct. Your personal house, which is not what we're talking about, but that was her question. So what if you buy in this area and it doesn't produce profit was the next question. Well, then we don't buy it. If I evaluate the deal, let's go over here. Come here. Check it. Big pencil time. Look at the tip. We're going to play a game called Just the Tip. How many of you have ever played the game Just the Tip? Say me in the chat. How many of you have ever played the game Just the Tip? Or is today your first day? My home run's at 3% right now. Doesn't reset at the rate. Me. Yields. You played the Just the Tip? Just the Tip. Okay, we're going to play a game called Just the Tip. First day. Welcome, Jason. Welcome, Jason. Me, Jimmy DeFish. First time. Good morning. First time. Columbia, South Carolina. Stop. Donnie Ball Game. Donnie Ball Game, what are you talking about? Just the tip. Okay, so the game Just the Tip is where you watch the tip. You just watch the... What are y'all talking about? Are we talking about 2 different things? Anyway, watch the tip. You ready? Here we go. Does it cash flow? So watch the tip. Does it cash flow? We evaluate deals and we make sure they cash flow. If it doesn't cash flow, we don't buy them. I'm going to work all this out on paper before I go buy the asset. We've got a lot of tools, a lot of softwares that we use to do that. So the game, Just the Tip, is you watch the tip as I instruct. I don't know what other games out there that have, anyway, doesn't matter. I think we understand the concept. So the question was, if I invest in an Opportunity Zone, what if it doesn't produce profit? Does it cash flow? Well, then we don't buy it. Cool? Now is when we go deeper. Oh my gosh. How about rental income tax? That would go on your Schedule E tax return. We would try to find all the tax deductions that we can, like depreciation, line 18 of the Schedule E. Yep, cool. Hey, yo, good morning. Oh my gosh. Okay, let's lock in. Let's lock in. We got a little off the rails. It happens from time to time, but we're back. We're better than ever. What if I pass away tomorrow? Well, I hope you lived a good life, and I hope you left a good legacy. Good morning. Next question. I don't know. I hope you read your Bible, too. Good morning. Okay, go deeper. Wait. No. What is the difference between cash flow and revenue? Revenue is top line. It's before you have expenses. Great question, by the way. Great question, by the way. All right, so here we go. You ready? You ready? All right. So what is the difference between revenue and cash flow? So let's define it. Revenue. What the? Excuse me. That was sideways. Not anymore. Revenue. Revenue is income directly from the customer. So you sell a thing. If you sell coffee cups, when you sell the coffee cup and the customer hands you cash, that's revenue. But you then have expenses. You got to go manufacture another coffee cup. You've got to pay the electric bill to keep the lights on. So revenue is directly from the customers. But then you've got expenses. You got this expense, and you got that expense, and you got this expense, and you got that expense. Cash flow is another word for profit. It's just what I call it. But cash flow is profit. After you factor out all of the expenses from your revenue, you then settle on cash flow, aka profit. When we evaluate assets, another word to make it even more confusing is NOI. That stands for net operating income. This represents the profit of the business before you get debt. Does this make sense? Type Y for yes, type N for no. Make sense? So if I'm evaluating a deal, that's NOI before my debt. So if I get debt, my pure profit would be NOI minus the debt. That would be my profit on the asset. Cool? But great question on that. Good morning! Oh my gosh, if you're new here, good morning. Awesome. If you're new here, my name is Will. We go live all the time. We learn how to buy assets at Cashflow. Let me teach you our overall philosophy about what we do, and then I'll show you a little bit of how we do it. Earnings before interest, taxes, depreciation, insurance, amortization. Yeah. All right, so here we go. We buy assets. Everybody type A in the chat for asset. We buy assets. Type A in the chat. It was a good question. Explanation, I don't know if it was a good explanation, but I did my best. I gave it the old college try there, pal. Assets. So an asset, by definition, is something that produces income that's disconnected from our time. The only way that you get freedom, the only way that you can actually retire is by having income that comes in that pays your bills that you don't have to work for. Right? How many of us know somebody, type Y for yes, type N for no. How many of us know somebody that unfortunately their health does not allow them to work anymore? Y for yes, N for no. How many of us know somebody that health events have caused them to no longer be able to earn income? That happens. That's one of the reasons that you have to get income that works for you, that you don't have to work for it. We don't want to end up in that position. So we got to have income coming in. So how do I do that? Well, we get assets that produce income. That's passive. Doesn't require me to be there. The most common thing that you hear about this is like 401k, retirement planning, IRA, Roth IRA, where you take your money, you save and invest your cash, and then you wait, and then you wait, and then you wait, and then one day you wake up, you look in the mirror, and you look like your mom or you look like your dad. Some people, through the course of their entire life, transition, and they look like both. We're not going to talk about that today. But you wake up and you're old, you're wrinkly, and the Dave Ramsey financial plan finally paid off. You look like Dave Ramsey. Congratulations. You are old. Yes, you're 70 years old and you can finally retire. We don't play that game. That's one way to do it. That's me. Which one? Good morning. Good morning. We buy assets. Those assets produce passive income. The passive income, when greater than expenses, you're financially free. So if I buy a rental property or a car wash or a laundromat or a self-storage facility and it produces $1,000 a month in profit, if my personal expenses are, say, $5,000 a month, let me know, chat. How many assets do I need until I'm financially free? If I have, pencil time. If I have an asset that gives me $1,000 a month in profit and my personal living expenses are $5,000 a month, how many assets do I need? What was the other word that you did that to? Dude, I went on a 2-week trip and I forgot all my stuff. Just whoosh. Shelly was making fun of me. She's like, how you just forget everything? How many assets do I need? Greater than or equal to 50 shots, 5. Santiago, Ralph, 5. Robert, 5. You are 5 assets away from freedom. Instead of asking yourself the question, how many years until I can retire, we ask ourselves the question, how many assets must I acquire? When you get to 5, do you stop? No. You can keep going, but that's the game. We don't do traditional financial planning because it doesn't work. It doesn't work the way you think it's going to work. There's only 3 variables to traditional financial planning. Let me teach you this really quick so you understand how we came to the conclusion that we came to. If you're new here, my name is Will. I go live all the time. If you want to hang out with us every day, I teach for free. Just come up here and tap on the follow button. Good morning, Kristen. Kristen, Monday or Tuesday will work. Will you message me your email? I'll message you and ask you for it. But Monday or Tuesday can work. Just send me your email and we'll get something on the books. Cool? Thank you for the shirt compliment, by the way. Yes, let's go. Okay. So everybody type 3 in the chat. There's only 3 variables to financial planning. This is why financial planning doesn't work. It doesn't matter how smart or how big of a head your financial advisor has. It doesn't matter what Ivy League institute they went to. It doesn't matter how many letters come after their name. It doesn't matter if they're a certified financial professional. It doesn't matter, doesn't matter, doesn't matter. They are bound by these same three variables. This is it. This is how financial planning works. You ready? This is what they teach you, and this is why it's going to cost you your life if you follow this path. Respectfully. So it looks something like this. This is you. You're very flexible. You can do the splits. Congratulations. And you take a portion of everything that you earn from every paycheck or the business that you run, the profit. You take that money, which is variable number one. Everybody type, give me a $ or a money emoji in the chat. This is variable number one. I want you to understand and retain this information. Whether you agree or disagree, I just want you to understand. Money, money, money. That's the first variable of the game. You take a portion of what you earn and you save it for the future. So you take that money and then you put it somewhere. Then your financial advisor or your whatever is going to recommend something to you. Retirement planning, Vanguard, Schwab, Fidelity, whatever. Well, now you're going to chase an interest rate, which is variable number two. And everybody and their mama has got a different philosophy about what you should invest in. Some people believe in ETFs, which is a basket of different stocks. So every time you buy the ETF, you get a certain percentage of each individual company and you own some of their stock. But here's my question. No matter what your philosophy is, the conclusion is going to be an interest rate. And everybody's got a different philosophy. Some work, some don't. But here's my question. If I go invest in, say, ETFs or stocks, if I invest in Microsoft, and Microsoft gives me 7% rate of return, can I pick up my pencil phone and call Mr. Microsoft and say, hey, Mr. Microsoft, I'm trying to retire young. I don't want to be old. Can you give me a 20% return instead of a 7? What's Mr. Microsoft going to say? Yes or no in the comments. Mr. Microsoft, can you give me a higher rate of return than what you gave me? I believe in your company. I invested in you. I invest in Google. I invest in NVIDIA. I invest in Tesla. I invest in whatever. Hey, Mr. What's up, Don? Good morning, sunshine. Yes or no? Can I control or influence the rate of return that I get in the stocks that I invest in? Yes or no? Good morning, Nellie. Nope. Good morning, Matt. Hell no. Good morning, Florida Keys. No. Of course not. Vero's got it. No. I can't influence it. What does that mean? He will never pick up your call. What that means is one of the major contributing variables to me getting to my financial destination is outside of my control. What I need you to understand is if one of the major variables that's you're counting on to get you to your financial goal is outside of your control, you don't know when you're going to be able to retire. Said in a darker way, you don't know if you can retire. Variable number 3, let's get a little lighthearted here, is T. Everybody type T in the chat. This is the third variable. We're just going to gloss over that. We'll come back to that another time. I don't want to cause any tears to drop this morning. There's a tear in my beer. Anyway, hey. T. Now, this is the booger. This is the fly in the ointment. This is the problema. Time. You take your money, you chase interest rate, you wait, and you hope that one day this is what your account looks like. The problem is you've traded your entire life for this. And if you're new here, we're talking about why retirement planning doesn't work. RPDW. It doesn't work the way you think it's going to work. Look at this. You take your money at age 25, you get your first big boy or big girl job, and you start saving and investing, and then one day, you wake up and you're 65 years old. Congratulations, the plan that you followed worked. You've got some money, you've stashed that cash. Let's take inventory of what you've done. You put in how much time have you put into the game? You started at 25, you retire at 65. In the chat, let me know. I already answered the question. How many years did you contribute to this idea? Save and invest, save and invest, save and invest, save and invest. What's the best investment vehicle return for the next 10 years? Nobody knows. Nobody knows it but me. The nights are long and the days are so sad. Who sings that song? Who sings that song? Does anybody know? I got to listen to that today. Who sings that song? Oh my gosh, classic. 40 years. You put in 40 years. Ah! Okay. That's your input. That's what you contribute to the game. You put in 40 years, but what do you get out of it? Let's take inventory of that. What is your reward? So if I retire at age 65 and I expire, life expectancy for men is 78. Nobody knows the interest I've seen. Let's go. Who sings it? You do. You do. Did you listen to my song? If I retire at 65, let me know in the comments, and I retire at 78, how many years do I have in retirement? It's 87. Life expectancy for men is 78. Next question. If I retire at 65 and I live to 78, life expectancy, let me know in the comments. How many years do I get? 13-ish. Is it, Jason? Is it 13 years? Okay, this number, the math is 13, but what happens in reality? Well, in reality, you get 11 years in retirement. In the last 2 years, you spend in hospice care. They're just going to make you comfortable. And if you saved and invested your money correctly, you've got a good chunk of change to provide the greatest hospice care, which means they're going to give the premium lamb's wool diapers for you. So when you go poo-poo pee-pee, when you're in hospice care, you're going to have good absorption of those fluids and liquids so they don't stay stuck to the inner thigh when you're in hospice care while you're in retirement. In addition to that, because you've been a good saver investor, good retirement plan built up, they're going to give you the premium oxygen. They put it in the nose, they loop it around the ears, you get to carry around your oxygen tank when you're in hospice care while you're trying to remember your name. Who am I? Who am I? Where am I? Congratulations, 13 years in retirement. Is this a good trade or is this a bad trade? Type G in the chat for good. Type B in the chat for bad. It's a good trade. You put 40 years of your prime. You get 13 years out. Good or bad? Let me know in the chat. Don't remind years. Don't remind me. Good or bad trade? You tell me, boss. This is what everybody's doing. Really quick, pop quiz. If society goes left, which direction we go? Do we go left and follow the crowd, or do we look? Wait a minute. No, sir, not the hamster wheel for me. We go to the right. If society goes left, is that usually the correct direction? Does the crowd usually go the right way? No. Here's the one change we make. We understand this process. It doesn't take rocket surgeon to figure this out. Here's the one change we make. Are you ready? Realize our parents and grandparents got manipulated to grind for scraps. How many of you agree with, hold on, let me pin this comment. Good morning, Maribel. You see this comment I just pinned? How many of you agree with this? You see this comment? Just type yes in the comments if you agree. Realized our parents and grandparents got manipulated, playing a game to stack their cash in a place that they can't control, they can't get access to, and they're going to trade their entire life for some perceived future. Here's the change we make. It's not rocket surgery. Instead of playing this game, this is what we do. What is the number one objective of a retirement account? What is the number one plan of a retirement account? Everybody say income. I need you to get crystal clear on what your goal is. The entire purpose of retirement planning is to have income that comes in that doesn't require your time. That's how you retire. That's how you stop working. The financial industry tricks you into asking consumer-based questions. What type of retirement account should I have? Should I have a 401k? Should I have a Roth 401k? It's the same thing. Should I buy a Mazda? Should I buy a Honda? Should I buy a Ford? Should I buy a Dodge? You're still buying. You're still participating. We don't ask consumer-based questions. We need to get clear on our goal. If my objective is income, how do I do it? We focus on assets. Now everybody type A in the chat. If income is the objective, we buy assets. I don't wait until I'm old to get income. I get income now. I buy assets. An asset, by definition, is something that produces income that doesn't require me to be there. I can buy a rental property. I can buy self-storage. I can buy a laundromat. I can buy a Turo car rental business. Whatever you're into, that asset produces income. In the beginning, it was just me and my one stream of income. In the beginning, it was me and my one stream of income. But then I go out there like Shelly, and I get an asset. And that asset produces profit. In the chat, let me know, how many streams of income do I have now? Huh? I started with one. Woo! I'm into all the things. Let's go. How many streams of income do I have now? Started with one. Now I've got 1 plus 1 equals 2. Larry, come on, Larry. That's okay. Larry's from the South. You get that Southern public education system. We're gonna get him coached up real good now. I've got 2 streams of income. And if I've got 2 streams of income, Renee Five Guys Miller, if I've got 2 streams of income, how much faster do you get somewhere if you travel twice the speed? How much faster? I didn't even hear the beginning of the South has nothing to do with it. But I wasn't wrong though. The South ain't got nothing to do with this. Listen now, how much faster do you get to a destination if you're traveling twice the speed? Twice as fast or half the time. What? That's the game. So now I can get to where I'm going twice as fast. Larry, I'm just messing with you. Don't take it personal. I love you. Good morning, sunshine. So now I've got double the income. I take the cash, I stash it. And I get to my next asset faster than I got to my first one. Quick. That's how Renee likes it. Quick. So I can get to my next asset even faster. Which means I get another asset and another stream of income and another asset and another stream of income. So let's take inventory really quick. One person with their one stream of income from their job or their business, saving and investing towards their other goal. Better sharpen that pencil. Come on, baby. What's wrong with the dull tip? What's wrong with the dull tip? Good morning, Wade. So one stream of income, chasing and investing towards my one financial goal. Or I've got multiple streams of income. Let's say 5 total streams of income. Me and my job and business plus 4 assets, saving and investing, chasing towards my one financial goal. In the chat, who is more likely to get to their destination? Type 1 for 1, type 5 for 5. Income and asset-based solutions, 100%. Who is more likely to get to their financial destination? 5 streams of income or 1 stream of income? This is what we focus on. Once you get crystal clear on what your objective is, which is income replacement. Love my tip. Wait, you love my tip? Good morning. 5 streams of income. That's the name of the game. That's the math. And if you're new here, my name is Wet Willie. We go live all the time. If you want to hang out with us every day, come up here and tap on the follow button. Good morning. Good morning. Y'all want to get into another deal? You want to do another asset? You can tax this tip, baby. That's only if your assets are cash flow positive. Okay, really quick, pop quiz. Do we buy assets that are cash flow positive? Type P. Or do we buy assets that are negative? Type N. Okay, IQ test. Here we go. Let me just jump over here. Let me teach you a really, really simple thing. He's the best big tipper. Good morning. Good morning. What do we? Yeah, negative, Jason. Negative. I mean, appreciation alone. Exactly. I need to know what are the best assets, though. Okay, again, here we go. Everybody buckle up. We're going to play a game called Just the Tip. How many of you played the game Just the Tip? Type Y for yes. How many of you have never played the game Just the Tip and you want to play right now? Yes? You want to play? We're going to play a game called Just the Tip. Live right now. If you want to. We don't have to. Just the Tip. We're going to play live right now. Okay, here we go. I need to know, so Super Jeremy asked this question. He says, I need to know what are the best assets though. You ready? Here we go. Just the tip. It's the assets that cash flow. Jeremy, it's the ones that cash flow. That's the ones. That's the ones. All the assets work. All the assets work. I play with your mom. My mom passed away, so that's weird. I think that's also a crime. That's weird. It's a crime. My mom has not actually passed away. Love her. That's what I used to tell. I don't know, when I went to school, they would always say, yo mama jokes. Yo mama joke. Like, I was teaching my kids this, by the way. My kids go to a private Christian school. And I was like, man, I got to figure out how to teach them jokes without getting them kicked out of school. So I was teaching them, you know, yo mama is so fat, we can't even lift her up in prayer. So when I got the phone call from the principal, I was like, but that's like in between the lines. That's a good joke. Anyway, so I can't teach my kids jokes anymore. So, but anyway, when I was in school, yo mama jokes were really big. And so one of the antidotes to that is I would just tell my friends, oh man, that's messed up that you said that about my mom. She passed away. She wasn't passed away. And so my mom would come to like my basketball games and football games. And then I would just tell her, hey, you have to be the aunt because I told everybody that you're not alive. She's like, what? I was like, listen, it's complicated, but I had to figure out a way to deflect all this stuff. So anyway, here we go. But the mama jokes wasn't as big as yo mama. Good morning. Good morning. My other ride is your mom. Let's go. Dude, keep it coming. I love it. Oh my gosh, keep it coming just like your mom. So here we go. Let's get into what would be a good start for a widow with 2 boys. Let me pin this comment. This is a good question. Okay, what would be a good start for a widow with 2 boys? Stephanie, number one, the conversation that you and I would have is what assets, good morning San Francisco, good morning Nia, is what are you interested in? In addition to that, what are your boys interested in? So Stephanie, can you tell me how old are your sons? What age are they? And let's kind of go through this. This is the process that I would walk through with your kids, with your boys. So how old are they? I want to kind of know where they're at, so like where we're going to start the conversation with them. 11 and 6. Okay, so at that age, I would get them exposed. You want to get exposure to this conversation. I'm teaching them now. Let's go. A lot of success that we have in our group, I run a group, it's called the Passive Income Club. We have a lot of success with this age group inside of vending. I'm not saying you need to get into vending machines. However, this age really gets them interested. Why? Like, if you take your 6-year-old and your 11-year-old and you go to Costco or Sam's or whatever, and you start shopping for candy, Stephanie, you tell me, would they be interested in shopping for candy? Y for yes, N for no. Everybody jump in. If you've got kids in this age range or whatever, if your kids get to go shopping for candy to put in their asset, would they be interested? Yes or no? So I think this asset works really well inside of our Passive Income Club group for this age demographic of kids and parents buying assets because you can pull them in with their interest, which is the answer. What is something that your children are interested in that you can pull them in? Maybe they love YouTube. We've got a guy in the group, Bobby, who started a completely faceless YouTube channel. I don't know if anybody remembers. I'll try to pull it up on the screen. I think he's at like $9,000 in revenue on a YouTube page. Let me see if I can show this. Stand by. I'll throw it up on the board. I'll show you his actual post. But on vending, Stephanie, just on vending, inside the group, Larissa, she's in Los Angeles, California. I think her son's 10 years old. They have a couple of different vending machines that they've placed. Jennifer in Delaware has 2 young daughters, both, I believe, under the age of 11. They've placed vending machines. Jeffrey in West Virginia has placed vending machines. So whenever you ask me that question, my answer to you is what are they interested in? Whatever they're interested in, they're naturally going to be pulled into. And it's easier for them to listen to you. You see what I'm saying? This is so encouraging. You should only feel encouraged. Absolutely. Let me show you this. Now check this out. Let's say, okay, let me go over here. I'm going to share the screen over here. Let's walk this way. Let's take a look right here. All right. 2683. Bang. Okay, can you see this? Possible putting a couple of vending. This is so encouraging. Yeah, for sure. Okay, I don't know if y'all can see this. This is Bobby. This is a screen share from the app of my Passive Income Club. It's my private group that I run. We actively have 450 members plus all over the world actively learning, buying assets that produce profit. We talk about all kinds of stuff from tax savings to asset acquisition, all that stuff inside the group. So I'm just showing you a post from the group. This is Bobby Brown in Houston, Texas. He says, I just wanted to share to hopefully inspire someone, Stephanie and everybody else, to start taking action, even when you have no clue what you're doing. How many of you this is speaking to you? How many of you have no idea what you're doing? Type Y for yes. Type N for no. Y for yes, N for no. I have no idea what I'm doing. Anybody? Anybody? Super Jeremy, yes. Nia, yes. Shelly, yes. Stephanie, yes. Me, yes. Yes. Okay, figure things out is not failure, it's knowledge. My channel, he created a YouTube faceless page using straight up AI. Is building something, other automations to help other ventures he's working on. So let's zoom in. These are the channel analytics. Can y'all see this? He's had 1.4 million views. This is behind the scenes of his YouTube page. 96,000 watch hours on this. And estimated revenue, $9,277. So Stephanie's question is, as a widow with 2 young sons, what is an asset that I can get involved with? If your children are interested in YouTube and like using AI and like that gets them fired up, you might be able to do something like this. That is an asset that Bobby built, requires some activity. Good morning, Kim. Requires some activity, but he's produced $9,200. I believe he started this like in January, February. What? So those are two quick examples to answer Stephanie's question. How many of you got something out of this conversation based on her question? If you did, give Stephanie some love in the comments for asking that question. Give her some heart emojis. Say, let's go, Stephanie. Stephanie's the one that asked the question. She prompted this conversation. So if you got something out of this, give her some love. Cool? Yes? Let's go. Awesome. Awesome. Let me get rid of, I see you. Let's get rid of Gold King. Gone. You got Stephanie. Let's go, Steph. Stephanie, if you need anything, just hit me up. Happy to help. Happy to help. Also, for everybody, be cautious. I got a notification yesterday. They were like, hey, is this the real page of you? I talked to Sophia. Is this the real you? There's so many fake TikTok pages that are pretending to be you. I don't know which one's you. How many of you are having somebody like following you right now and you think it's me? So let me just show you really quick. Be careful. I will never message you asking for money or anything weird. Dude, there's even new pages. Okay, so if you're on TikTok and you search Moneyman Myers, you're going to see all of these. This is me live right now. And then look at all these fake pages. All these fake pages. I'm trying to share over there. All of these. Look at this. Over and over and over. None of these are me. None of these are me. So if you're getting any followers or anybody messaging you and they're acting like me and they're asking for feet pictures or money or anything weird, it's not me. Cool? So just be on the P's and Q's, be cautious. All right, let's get back to the deal. Let me go here, and then we're ready to rock. Awesome. All right, so let's get back to this. Good morning. Good morning. What did Vero say? I missed it. I don't know what she said. I talked to all of them. All right, okay, block them. Yeah. Whatever it takes, Vero. I don't know what she's doing in the chat. We got our eyes on her. Reposted. Let's go. Let's go. Okay, let me catch up. You messaged me asking for feet pictures. That wasn't me. That wasn't me. Oh my gosh. Okay, all right, here we go. So let's get, good morning. I said you messaged, no, I didn't. No. So let's get back into it. Here's what we talk about all the time. We buy assets that produce profit. The profit when greater than expenses, you can stop working. Now I'm gonna back up and I'm gonna teach you one of Jason's favorite things. Jason's favorite things. Again, are bank annuities good for a 77-year-old? It depends. So an annuity is not necessarily good or bad. It depends on the details of the annuity. Like a government retirement plan, a pension system is just an annuity. If you retire from the state or government, that's just an annuity. An annuity is a payment plan. Like you're going to get, like, how many of you have ever heard of annuities? Type A in the chat. No wonder I never got paid for them. Good morning. Good morning. So an annuity, okay, an annuity, just definition. It's just a payment plan. If somebody ever wins the lottery, you can take a lump sum payment or you can take an annuity payout. An annuity, it's going to be all kinds of different things. There's a term, which is a time period. You can do a 10-year annuity, which means you would get a monthly check for 10 years. You can do a lifetime annuity, which means whatever lump sum you've got, you can get a monthly paycheck for your entire lifetime. Teacher retirement plan is an annuity. So an annuity, by definition, is neither good nor bad. It's just like math. And if you can do, they call it joint and survivor, where if it's you and your husband or you and your wife, if one of you passes away, the survivor would continue to receive payments until they passed away. That's just like time. Now, annuities can get bad whenever they start adding all these bells and whistles on it. So you can buy an annuity from a financial company. It's not good or bad. You need to look into the details. I don't know if you know this, but I spent a decent amount of time working in the financial industry. I was one of the top advisors for many years, which gave me an insight of what's going on in the industry, and that gave me this sour taste in my mouth that I then was teaching about how to get assets that cash flow. So I know a lot of that game on that side. If you ever get pitched or you need help on that, just shoot me a message, shoot my team a message. I'm happy to look and help you out, help you understand it for free. But annuities are not good or bad except when they start adding bells and whistles, features and benefits onto it that you don't need. That increases expense for the annuity, that pulls down what you would get paid, what your benefit would be. Does that make sense? Type Y for yes, type N for no, and then we'll move back on. So that's like the basic foundation. There's much more nuance and detail to annuities. It's neither good nor bad. We just need to look into the details of whatever the thing is. I'm taking lump sums, no guarantee, all payments at 77. Nice, Angel, nice. All right, cool. So let's get to Jason's favorite thing. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh, here we go. Jason, don't cry on me. Jason cried 3 days ago. He cried 3 days ago, and we can't do that again. All right, so let's get into this. Let's just understand a couple of different things. Yeah, thanks. I got bank annuities. Cool. Yeah. They're not neither good nor bad. Oh boy. All right, so here we go. Every time you get paid, something happens. So let's just take inventory of the things that happen. Every time you get paid, what tax is that called? Let me know in the chat. What tax is that called? Good morning. I cry every day in class. Jason, you and Shelly. Different tiers for different reasons. Good morning. Income tax. So every time that Jason gets paid, every time that you get paid, you pay a little bit of income tax. Oh, it's fine. Welcome to America. Hello, my neighbor. You pay a little bit of income tax. Then you take whatever's left over from the income tax. Payroll taxes is actually Social Security and Medicare, which is different than income tax. We're not going to talk about that. So then you take whatever's left over after income tax, and then you go buy some stuff. So you go to the store, you buy some stuff. Whenever you buy stuff, at the bottom of the receipt, what tax is that called? Let me know in the comments. You paid income tax on your dinero. At the bottom of the receipt, what's it called? Sales tax, JD. Now you got to pay some sales tax. Everybody in the chat say, sound like Verofund. Sales tax. Oh my gosh. Yeah, theft tax. That's fair. So now Jason's freaking out. Jason's got paid. He got paid his paycheck. He saw the income tax come out. Then he went to buy some stuff and he paid sales tax. And he's freaking out. He's going, oh my gosh, I got to get out of here. Let me just get home. If I can get home, they stop taxing me. He gets in his car. So he gets in his car and he realizes that he needs a little go juice. So he pulls into the go juice station. He puts the little pump in the pumpy. I make you sound like that? Yo. He puts the pump in the pump thing and he goes pump. What is that tax called? I can't say it because I'll give it away. When he's putting the liquid that makes his car go vroom vroom, what is that called? He's freaking out. Gasoline tax or fuel tax. Just a little bit. It's not, like in Texas, just a little bit. It's not that big a deal. He's going, oh my gosh, gotta pay fuel tax. He goes, I gotta get home. So Jason speeds home. When he speeds home, he sees that he's got to pay registration for his car. He lives in Missouri, so he pays property tax year after year for owning his car. He also passes through the toll road. He paid bond taxes to build the toll road, but now he's got to pay taxes when he drives on the toll road. He's not going to worry about all that because it's going to freak him out. But he gets home. And then he locks the doors. He goes, finally, I'm protected from the Uncle Sam man. He locks all the doors. And then he notices a letter on the counter. It's from the county appraisal district. How sweet. Then he gets a speeding ticket. How sweet of them. Why did they appraise his house? Let me know in the chat. What tax is that called? Did they appraise it out of the kindness of their heart? Hey, Jason, here's the latest value of your property. Property tax? What the? So now he's got to pay property tax. So it's just a little Jason. The government plays a little game with us. And what is that game called? Everybody say, just the tip. It's just a little bit. Not a big deal. Not a big deal. Jason's freaking out. He's running around with his hair on fire inside of his house. He goes, let me at least check my investments. I've been investing. My investments have been going up over time. Because those investments going up, his capital has gained. What is that tax called? Good morning to Sean. Good morning. What is that tax called when you pay taxes on your investments gain? Anybody know? Capital gain taxes. And that's why Jason cries every time we teach this. The lesson that I want you to understand is by far the greatest expense that you have in your lifetime is your taxes, which is why we talk so often about you understanding and learning tax law so that you can pull down the taxes that you pay. Fire in his hair, there's tax for that too. Boom, hit him with the tax. Yeah, he calls the EMS to put it out, they tax him again. So we're going to focus on lowering our taxes. Why? Because it's by far our greatest expense. Does this make sense? Type Y for yes, type N for no. We can cut coupons to go to the grocery store to save 50 cents on a gallon of milk. That's definitely a thing that you can do. Or if I've only got a limited amount of time, a limited amount of effort, and a limited amount of resources, let me put those resources into reducing this. If I reduce this, it frees up more money to then allow me to accomplish my financial goals. Make sense? Yes? Wait, you can make it just a tip joke, but when I do, I get muted. Baby, I don't own TikTok, big dog. And I'm not the one that muted you. You hear me? Let's go over here. Come check this out. Let's walk through some of the things that we can do to lower our taxable income. Let me show you some of this stuff. What have we not covered this week? Let me get into some of this. Okay, all right. If you're a business owner, type B in the chat. If you're an employee, type E in the chat. If you're a business owner, type B in the chat. If you're an employee, type E. Business owner, if you're both, type both. Vero, I know. B, E. You're just trying to make extra money selling feet pictures? That's one way to do it for sure. Nia, both. E, both. Okay, I'm going to walk both of you through things that you can do to lower your taxable income. I'm even going to get through a big boy. I'm going to show you getting rid of about a $2.5–3 million tax bill. I'm going to show you how to do that next. Let me walk, and that's going to be for employees and business owners. What I'm going to start with is business owners. I'm going to show you what you can do. This is the most common question that I get when it comes to tax savings for business owners, is the question about should I convert to the S corporation? Even when you are an S corporation, how you can improve that. I'm going to walk you through that live right now. As I do this, I've opened up. Yesterday, I was completely sold out. I have free, doesn't cost you any money. I have free tax savings estimation calls. As I start teaching, it's going to book up. It fills up. It filled up yesterday. Mandy tried to book. She said, I can't get in. I'm like, I'm sorry. I've reopened it. So if you want to save your spot for a free tax savings estimation call, on those calls, we sit down and estimate tax savings for you for free. I own a CPA tax firm. I'm in all 50 states. If you need tax savings help, we might be able to help you. If you want to book your spot for free, go save your spot now. What you're going to do is you're going to tap on this guy. There's a little button somewhere down here. Tippy tap, tap on this. When you tap on that guy, it'll pop up, and then at the bottom, it'll say tax savings estimate call. That's how you save your spot. I'm going to start teaching. As I teach, people get excited and they go save their spot. What I would do is if I were you, I'd go save your spot now. Then come back in the comments and say done. Here's how you do it. There's a little thing at the bottom. Boop. When it pops up, I got to reset that. When it pops up at the bottom, it'll say tax savings estimate. Cool? All right, so here we go. Check this out. Let's take inventory. Remember, big tip time. Here we go. Veryl's favorite time. Let's say that you're a business owner. If you're an LLC, type L in the chat. If you earn money via 1099, type 1099. If you have an S corporation, type S. If you're a business owner, type B. If you're LLC, type L. 1099, how you earn your income, type 1099. If you're not sure, but you got a little side business or a business you run, type X. How do you earn your income? LLC, type L. Why did I get muted? Psych seduction. I don't think you got muted. I see you. S corporation, 1099, LLC. Okay, cool. Check this out. Let's say that you're a sole proprietorship, which would be you, LLC. Nelson, 1099. This would be you. 1099, and I don't know. This is probably going to be you. LLC, I did for 5 minutes. I don't know. It's not something I did, psych seduction. So if that's you, you're probably going to fall on this side of the chart. Let's say, hypothetically, that your profit in this example is $145,000. If that's your profit on your business and you're a 1099, LLC, Schedule C, I don't know what's going on, I'm just running my business and making money, this is likely you. All of your profit is subject to self-employment tax. That means $145,000 profit has to pay self-employment tax, which is 15.3%. Side note, Self-employment tax is not income tax. Self-employment tax includes Social Security and Medicare. That's what self-employment tax is. And it's 15.3%. So you're going to pay 15.3% times your profit, which means your self-employment tax bill, not your income tax, not your property tax, not your capital gains tax. Self-employment tax is $22,000. Everybody type 22 in the chat. He tried to slide the big tip past us real quick. For some reason, I can't ever slide the big tip past anybody. I don't know what's going on there. I'm trying my best. Good morning. Got a jet. Always fun. See you later, Snappy. Have a great Friday. 22. That's my self-employment tax bill. Just Social Security and Medicare. If the one change I make is I elect to be an S corporation, I filed IRS Form 2553 requesting the IRS to tax my same business as an S corporation. Here's what would happen. Now, an S corporation means that you have to pay yourself a salary. You become an employee inside of a business that you own. So I make the same $145,000 profit I did before. Got to go, Nelson. Take care. $145,000 profit that I did before. Same customers, same lead generation, same sales process, same fulfillment and delivery of my services or products. Everything's the same, even my profit. Except I'm an S corporation now, which means I have to pay myself a salary because I'm an employee inside of a business I own. Let's say my reasonable compensation salary is $45,000. In an S corporation, instead of paying self-employment tax on all of your profit, you only pay self-employment tax on your salary. Good morning, Annie. Good morning, Canada. Good eye, mate. That's it. So 15.3% times your $45,000 salary means your self-employment tax is only $6,885, not $22,000. That means that remaining $100,000 of profit is exempt from self-employment tax. That means you do not pay 15.3% times 100 grand, saving this business owner $15,000 per year. Good morning, Jennifer. Good morning, sunshine. What? LLC taxes partnership, pass-through, and only managers pay self-employment. Others are passive. We'll walk through some of that. So, same business, same profit. $145,000, $145,000. One person pays $22,000 in self-employment tax. The other person pays $6,885 in self-employment tax. All because they made the switch to the S corporation. This business owner saves $15,000 a year. So the general rule of thumb is when you're over $50,000 in profit, if you're at $50,000 in profit or more, you need to have the conversation with your accountant, with your tax professional, with your CPA about making the switch. How many of you are over that profit threshold of $50,000 or more? Just say me in the chat. I don't need to know all your business. Just say me. And I'll walk you through the decision-making process. But in this example, you save 15 grand a year. And it's not a one-time saving. It's recurring. You would save that year after year after year after year. What? I wish. It's all good, Super Jeremy. Keep going, baby. You know more than 80% of other CPAs. I've been doing this a long time. I've been teaching this a long time. By the way, if you need tax savings help, I have free tax savings estimation calls. We were completely sold out yesterday. I have opened up a handful of spots. If you want to estimate tax savings for free, here's what you do. In the bottom of the TikTok Live, there's a little button. It looks like this. Just come down here and tap on that. I'm not going to leave this open forever. I'm going to close this soon. If you want to save your spot and sit down and estimate tax savings together with myself or my team, go down here and tap on this little button down here. When it pops up, scroll a little bit. At the bottom, it says tax savings estimate call. Cool? Got to find assets, baby. Let's go. All right. So the profit tipping point, just so you know, here's the golden rule of tax planning. The golden rule of tax planning is this. Your tax savings needs to outweigh the cost to implement the tax plan. What if I've had sole proprietorship for 4 years but not really used it until now? Vero, that's okay. Are you making income now? Ballpark, what's your income when you started to use it? Are you making income now? Now we're profiting. Let's go, Macheo. So the golden rule of tax planning is that tax savings needs to outweigh the cost of whatever strategy you're implementing. So let me give you the example using what we're talking about, which is the conversion to the S corporation. When you request the IRS to tax you as an S corporation, you file IRS Form 2553. You wait a while, about $10,000 a month so far. You're not making any mistakes, but if you're going to maintain that pace, do about 10 grand a month, that's $120,000 in revenue per year. If your profit's going to be about $50,000, we might want to start having the conversation about making the switch to the S corporation. There's something called late election relief, which I'll get to in a minute. We can sit down and talk about that. Just message me, whatever. Happy to talk about it. But this is a part of the conversation anyway, so you'll get a preview. So you file the 2553 requesting the IRS to tax you as an S corporation. The IRS is slow. You wait. They finally send you a letter saying you're good to go. How do you get the 100K? Isn't it the hard in the company's account? Great question. I'll get to that next. Let me pin the comment. Let me answer this, then I'll answer that. I'm going to come back to that. It's a common question. So 2553, you're now approved. You have to file the 1120S, which is the S corporation document. This means that your accountant, depending on their business model, may charge you a separate filing fee for that. So you as the individual have to pay your own individual tax return, and now you got to pay for a business tax return. That may cost you extra money. This is going into the cost of implementing the tax strategy S corporation. 1120S, now let's say in order to file the 1120S, you have to submit your balance sheet and your profit and loss statement, which means you have to have books, which means you have to have bookkeeping software, which means you might have to hire a bookkeeper, which means all of those things are going to now cost you money or time. This adds into the expense. Converting to the S corporation is not free. We need to weigh this expense against the tax savings. I can't find the schedule. So Nia, try one more time. What the heck? When you go, let's try it over here. Let me try to show you what it looks like from your side. Oh, it won't show me. Okay, when you tap on this guy, does the little box pop up and then you scroll a little bit, or is it like in the DMs? Let me know in the comments. Will y'all do me a favor? Tap on this thing and it should pop up. And if you scroll just a little bit at the bottom, it'll say tax savings call. Does a thing pop up or does it go straight to the DMs? It goes straight to the DMs. What? Two choices. Okay, does yours look like this? DMs. Okay. All right, I'll have. So just go to the DMs. Oh, it only has two options. Okay, so tap on this and then just message me the word call. And then I'll message you back in just a little bit with like, you can just go get registered and then I'll get to you. Okay, Nia? It says tax saving software. Okay, so yeah, yours probably looks like this. Let me show you what it looks like. I DM'd you. Yeah, just message me the word call so I know what you're messaging me about. So when you're in, if you want to book a tax call, do this. Oh, I see what it's doing. And then just go to the message and CALL. Call. Just message me that. Cool? Call me. Send me an emoji. Do that. Do one of those. Pick one of those. Like do boop. Call me. Cool. Try that. Have a little message sent. Let's go. All right. So let's continue on. That's the golden rule of tax planning. Tax savings has to outweigh the cost. So the reason that they say before you convert to an S corporation is you want to be about $50,000 in profit is because you have to incur these costs. And usually after $50,000 in profit, these costs are less than the tax savings. The tax savings outweighs the cost. Cool? Cool. All right. So now let's go to Jason's second favorite part. Let's go back here. I'm not saying you do this for this reason. I'm saying that if converting to the S corporation is a benefit to your business, and then I'll get to the remaining $100,000 question. What do I do with that? How does that work? How can I access that? One of the extra ancillary bonus benefits is that the S corporation actually reduces your audit risk. Sole proprietorships like Vero, LLCs, are audited at a 3.2% rate. So every 100 people that file as an LLC, a sole proprietorship, a Schedule C, 3.2 of them are audited. If those businesses would have been an S corporation, you lower your audit risk from 3.2% to 0.1. This is not my data. It's the IRS's data. I have all my citation at the bottom. The lowest it's ever been is 0.05. I'm no math major, but I did show my work. That means that you might reduce your audit risk by 96.4%. What? S corporations are audited at a much, much lower rate. How low? You reduce your audit risk by 96.4%. That's not the reason that you switch to an S corporation. It's one of the bonus reasons that happens after the decision was made. Oh, cool? Cool, that's why Jason loves it so much. Every angle of the dangle, come on, baby. It's all about the angles. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh, I love it. Gulf Painter, let's go. Good morning. Good morning. All right, I got a piece. I got a grease. We got to get out of here. If you didn't get a chance to book a tax savings call, my thing's all messed up. So just send me a message because IRS trusts CPA. Maybe, not necessarily. It's because when you convert to an S corporation, you have to have bookkeeping, you have to have balance sheets, you have to have profit loss statements. That's way more difficult. So you're operating like a big boy business, a big girl business. Cool. Swapping to S corporation. Look at JD. Swapping to S corporation saved me over $13,000 in taxes. And it's recurring. You're saving that $13,000 in taxes. You did it a couple years ago. It's saving you every single year. If you maintain the same profit, you have the same savings. If the profit goes up, you increase savings. What? So if you didn't get a chance to save your call and you want to sit down and estimate tax savings, tap on this button. It takes you to my DMs. Then just text me the word call. Oh, how do I get to 100K? I got you. Thank you for reminding me. Tap, do this now, last chance. Tap on this, it goes to my DMs, text me the word call. Cool? All right, so let's go here. How do I access the money? Let's go nerd mode a little bit. Good morning, good morning, good morning. I think it's over here. All right, how do I access the $100,000? Really good question. Ruben, I left Quinn a voicemail. Can you have him call me? I got you, baby. When did you leave him a voicemail? Recently? What day? All right, so here we go. Zero out your tax bill. Let's say you're an S corporation. So 1120S. Here we go. Big tip time. I got you, Vero. Big tip coming in. So when you file your 1120S to the S corporation question, when you file your 1120S is going to produce a profit or a loss. And then that profit or loss is going to be distributed amongst all the shareholders. So let's just say, good morning. Let's just say that you're the only person that owns the business. 100% ownership. Well, that profit or the loss of the business is going to show up on your side. You got my attention. You as the individual. So there's Moneyman, the individual, but there's the businesses that I own. When I'm an S corporation, it's called a pass-through entity, meaning the taxes pass through to the individuals that own the business. The business doesn't pay taxes. So when I run my income and my expenses, I'm going to have either a profit or loss in the S corporation business. That profit or loss is then going to show up on my individual tax return, which is distributed via K1. Everybody type K1. I'm not going to nerd out too hard, just type K1 in the chat. The K1 is the tax document that delivers the profit or the loss to the individual owners of that business. So I file my 1120S. The question was, what about the $100,000 in profit? That $100,000 in profit shows up on a K1 tax document. The K1 tax document then delivers that to my individual tax return. I'm going to pay taxes individually, not self-employment tax, not Social Security, not Medicare taxes. But it does show up on my individual tax return and I would pay tax here. There's other ways to catch the taxes here and reduce it on my individual tax return. But the question is, what happens to that money? It can stay in the business account. It can come out of the business account. Either way, in that tax year, you're going to pay tax on it individually. Does this make sense? Type 1 for yes, type 2 for no. S corporation is a pass-through entity. Type 1 for yes, 2 for no. S corporation is a pass-through entity, meaning the company does not pay tax. It passes it through to the shareholders based on the percentage of ownership. The $100,000 would show up here. I can keep it in the business account. I can take it out. Doesn't really matter. In an S corporation, as long as you're paying yourself reasonable compensation, you can take that as a distribution. So if it's in the business account, I can then distribute it and transfer it to my personal account. It's in the business account, I can transfer it. Cool? 1040, yep, that's the 1040 tax document. So I'll be taxed on the $100,000 on my personal tax. Yes, but like I showed you with Ray a couple of days ago, you can still capture the money here and pull down the taxable income. So Ray went out there and bought an asset. When he bought that asset, that pulled down his taxable income on his 1040, saving him money. Cool? A lot of ways to play that game. Great question. Great question. So anyway, I got a dip, I got a piece, I got a grease. We're going to adios out of here. I hope you learned something today. If not, I'm sorry. We'll try again next time. If you're new here and you want to hang out with us every day, my name is Wet Willie. I go live all the time. If you want to hang out with us every day, just tap on the follow button somewhere up here. I go live all the time. We learn how to buy assets that cash flow. Oh, I always learn something in your room. Let's go. I love it. Thank you for your time. I'm happy to help. You'll have a great weekend. I'll catch you on the flip-flop. Nia, I'll message you. We'll get you scheduled right away. By the way, love your book. Let's go. I'm so glad. I love it. I love it. How can I get live notifications? I don't know. It's a good question. Bye. Have a great weekend. Okay, guys, I'll see y'all later. Peace. Adios. Adios.